Hey there, so today we have another review. This is a beer from Stillwater, as you can see. New label. This is Cellar Door. So this is a beer I remember, I believe either reviewing or having in the past. Not quite sure. But yeah, again, Stillwater was available in the market. Cool brand and label. It had like the black and tan kind of like, what do you want to call it? Like, remind me a little bit of like, geez, like vampire novels, like a little bit like old school Western kind of thing. Anyway, you guys can look it up. I'll post a link to a label. But anyway, completely new label with the polka dots, like just cool new stuff. And then the cool thing, like, yeah, you get all the green polka dots, but then you got the red one right here with the white. Love it. So the fact I remember having this beer is because it was a dry hop farmhouse saison, what they call it saison, but it called dry hop farmhouse wheat ale with white sage. I specifically remember that ingredient. I don't know if I've ever had white sage in my life. Had to pour it out and then actually foamed up real hard, so I had to reshoot. Look at that rocky head. Insane. You can't pour this lightly. I love the fact about these beers. You just go like this and whoa! You know, like I literally cracked the can and just exploded the glass, which is such an important thing about having some of these Belgian-inspired beers. Like the carbonation, the mouthfeel is so important. And look at that beautiful beer. So you get like a little stratification of that rocky big head, tight foam over here. What if we're gonna like gold to straw color, medium hazelnut. You got a beautiful culture. It's got this really nice kind of like, what is it? Floral action with like very herbal. I guess sage. I mean, I've never, you know, I don't really homebrew, but I've had. But I imagine sage is just a huge like aromatic ingredient, like so dominant. And sage, I guess we generally don't use in cooking, other, at least for me, I generally don't use it outside of Thanksgiving. I love it in my stuffing, but like it's such a strong flavor. Like it's like minty and eucalyptus with the but it's like savory too. So it's almost like if you mixed eucalyptus, mint, and like rosemary. If a full blind, I would guess it's maybe rosemary or something, because that's also a little piney and savory. And then it's got some of that like light doughy malted, but also that plasticky tone that like Brett and whatever mixed fermentation blend they use for the yeast. So, all right, okay. So, as I was describing on the nose, very forward kind of herbal element. Oh my God. I maybe think that this is probably oversaged. It's so heavy. But yeah, the sage is this really beautiful combination of like potpourri, lavender, savory rosemary, and a little bit of like mint and eucalyptus. It's a, if you get, I mean, you guys have had sage, right? Ideally, like, you know, if you haven't had a proper Thanksgiving stuffing without with sage, you're not enjoying life. Like such a beautiful Thanksgiving kind of flavor. But man, that's a heavy herbal beer. Wow, very herbal. So up front, very herbaceous. You get a little bit of like this kind of grapefruit citrusy kind of character. So I imagine this beer is actually hot pretty well. Dry for days. Wonderful Brett character in here, like a little bit of that kind of plasticky tone, and just like that spritz fully fermented. So dry beer, fully fermented, spritz carbonation. Ooh. You better like sage and eucalyptus and a lot of green character. It's got a little bit kind of green marijuana thing, a good amount of kind of like polyphenol thing. But man, is that super ripplingly herbal. Wow. Honestly, if I had to remake this beer, I'd push it back and make it more nuanced. I know Stillwater does that kind of beer, and it would be really good if it did that. But it's just a little too far. Like, I like the balance of like, I mean, I think in general, the perfect ideal of a beer is something that you can sort of think about, but also just enjoy by itself, right? This is a little bit of thinking beer because you can't get past the idea. Like, you can't just drink this and go like, all right, it's a beer. It's got a lot of that sage. Like, oof. Ooh, a little bit of the plastic ketone thing in there. So it's got definitely some Belgian ester and phenolics, along with that kind of like funky kind of Brett, kind of like wet slate, and I guess it's the Belgian playing the plastic ketone, and then that really dry thing is the Brett. A little bit of that kind of like, yeah, I described the other day, another video, but it's almost like a licking wet white envelopes kind of oxidation character, a little bit plasticky, and I imagine that's a Brett for the phenolics of the Belgian yeast strain. Very heavy on that kind of like white sage character. It is green, minty, savory, rosemary, all these things I mentioned, like extreme eucalyptus. Still a beautiful beer. Spritzy carbonation, dry, tons of flavor, so much flavor. Then again, 6.6%, so it's actually not a tiny beer. Versus the other beer reviewed was like a little bit tinier. I think it was like 4. Yeah, it's like a Brett Wild Ale. This is actually full strength, 6.6, almost imperial, pretty much imperial in most minds. But so much character, a little bit of a cracked black pepper / white pepper thing going on. So now I get more of the phenolics. Definitely a Belgian mixed fermentation here with a Brett strain, right? Brett strain or Dystat, I guess. Tons of sage in here. Little now as I smell it more, it's got this really wonderful kind of banana candy note. So now it's full Belgian. It's it's Farmhouse, right? So like banana esters, banana runts, black pepper, white pepper, a little bit plasticky, big sage notes, which is not the base beer, but just sage. Beautiful mouthfeel, super dangerous, dry, bone dry. Yeah, if this beer just didn't have such an intense attack of sage, it would be a little bit better. But absolutely fantastic beer. Let's go with solid 92. Maybe better. No, it's a drinking beer. It's a very good drinking beer because your palate can actually slowly acclimate to it. I'm gonna go 94. Cellar, Stillwater, crushing it. I've been loving these beers. Carbonation, the fun Belgian character. Shout out to Brian Schomke. I've been loving these beers. Until next time, cheers later.